sometimes in chimp troops, the smallest male is the alpha. Yeah, that it's not dependent on power.
Joe Rogan.
A smaller chimp can be alpha, for example, if he has the support of one of the older females who has strong kin connections within the troop, but also is a sophisticated social actor. Status and authority in a chimp troop, and that is associated with reproductive success, is much more dependent on the ability to reconcile and the ability to maintain reciprocal positive relationships with multiple individuals, far more dependent on that than on the expression of physical power.
They would have a deep understanding of the physics of the universe sufficient to have arrived here.
Yeah.
Through time, there'll be a trajectory where there'll be something increasingly complex and fascinating and beautiful like us humans, but much more.
How long? Do you know? 5 years, probably. They'll take the cars, which is pretty damn weird because it's not like chimps have cars. That was the destiny I always presumed would make itself manifest. So this is crucially important. Sex differences in toy preference, behavioral preference, differences between male and female chimps, especially juveniles. If you give her a doll, a teddy bear or something like that, that's definitely instantly an infant. And then it's a lie that's a manipulation of that young woman. Now, she partakes in that because she participates in it. Well, is everything an infant?
Freedoms were violated.
The world is divided into 3 categories. Infants, caretakers of infants, and predators. And that's it. And God help you if you're a predator. Prove to me you're not a predator.
I'm telling you,
young woman, nice facial features and so forth, with a very revealing swimsuit. We'll see.
I think you don't often talk about extraterrestrial life, intelligent life out there. Do you wonder about this kind of thing, about intelligent civilizations out there?
It's very difficult for them to bridge the gap. We only had about 3 feet between the top of it and the ceiling, and it was very solid. Earthquake wouldn't have taken it down. It was all built out of 2x4s, and we built a wall. It was in what was the dining room. We built a half wall. Well, they're just victims of an oppressive social organization. It's like, that'll be a real good thing to tell them when they break into your house.
Is there some version of the alien conversation that could incorporate the breaking of frameworks?
Well, it'll be just like the summer of love, which, by the way, ended very badly.
So what do you think the ideal of the freedom of speech means?
Obese pig eats too much, has no self-control. And fuck you if you don't like it.
That's fascinating to think about. I mean, you're
that's a role. It's like, I'm saying what I think.
You've spoken about him before. I think it'd be nice to maybe honor him, to break it apart a little bit. Ooh. Donald Trump, why was he a special human being in this ilk of what we're talking about now, civil disobedience? How do we honor him now moving forward as human beings who are willing to take risks in this world?
If there was a Nobel Prize for the sort of science he's doing, he would deserve it, because he's discovered things that are they're unbelievably fundamental. For example, he's discovered that if you get a reaction that's too far in one direction, then it calls for a fantasy in the other direction. It's like, well, sex only can take place between people of equal power, whatever the hell that means. Clear skin, plump lips, 0.68 waist to hip ratio, clear eyes. There's a variety of other, the width of the pelvic opening, like a fetus. They're actually fetal in a very real sense. So that's pretty beautiful. Like, yeah, that's sexual selection, boys and girls.
To find yourself, think for yourself. Thanks for listening, and hope to see you next time.